Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm the inspirational Andy Murray from WhatCulture. And remember, Raw is LOL.
Coming up, my favourite show on this channel is The Real Reason, but it's been another great day for shoot season.
I like coffee, it makes me wired. Vince McMahon hates writers, so he's got them fired.
I can't wait till Titus goes into the Hall of Fame, but there's been another reason for Raw to blame.
Goblins and orcs, they live in trees, and main roster stars might be on their way to NXT.
As my favourite Baywatch star says, don't hassle the Hoff. I've got an update for you on Eric Bischoff. This is the news.
So, Raw Reunion, that happened.
Yeah. Do you want to see my impression of it?
Yeah.
What about the Attitude Era? Me and Gerald Briscoe broke the law once.
Accurate. We're going to talk about Gerald Briscoe and Steve Austin breaking the law at the end of this, so stay tuned for some of that. But we're going to kick things off with a little backstage news on the Raw Reunion. Say what you will about the show, it was
a nightmare.
It was something. It was the kind of show where I would say it was probably like a 2 out of 10, but I was really entertained by it. Modern WWE in a nutshell, really.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't hate it. I describe it as a nightmare because I just imagined what Backstage must have been like. It was. So I saw someone on Twitter describing it as like a clip show of your favourite TV.
That's pretty much what it was.
And it kind of was. It was like little boy poppers of like, oh, it's cool to see them, it's cool to see them, it's cool to see them. But it didn't really do anything, did it?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably objectively a bad show because it was full of nothing. But at the same time, like, I laughed so hard, I probably burned about 500 calories during the course of the show. But yeah, the backstage area sounds like it was an absolute pile. We've got an update here from Shagger Dave and his daily update on Figure 4 Online / The Wrestling Observer. Daily update where he lists all the shagging he's done that day, but also a bit of wrestling news as well. He says, and this is a direct quote, it was written by Dave, so, you know, it's really poorly phrased. Tonight's show has evidently been a ton of headaches. There was more than one segment written that had to be changed today because the talent involved were flagged by medical from doing anything physical. Many segments had to be changed at the last minute, and not due to Vince changing his mind, but due to things medical wouldn't allow it to happen. So basically, WWE booked a bunch of old guys with broken bodies and injuries and like other ailments. Expect them to be able to take bumps, the morons.
What were they thinking?
And then they kind of realized that, oh, wait a minute, we probably shouldn't have Steve Austin taking head drops with his broken neck.
Having said all that, Ted DiBiase getting the crap kicked out of him in a limo by Drake Maverick was a real highlight.
That was a little hoot. I loved him buying the title as well, as we called on the news video yesterday.
We should just book the 24/7
Once again, they're just biting our ideas. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. I mean, WWE are kind of silly for doing that.
Imagine what it's been like backstage, like if you were like a runner for WWE and they're like, can you quickly go and get, I don't know, the Hurricane? And you're like, get out of the way, Godfather, I need to get past. Stop banging on about hose.
Barreling past the boogeyman, spit some worm at you.
What a guy.
What a lad. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say than that. WWE are stupid for thinking old guys could take bumps.
Let us know what you thought of the Raw Reunion in the comments, because I would be intrigued to see what people actually thought.
We're probably coming off a bit more negative than we actually thought. Like, I did enjoy myself, but it was like the perverse modern WWE sense of enjoyment. And look at this mess, isn't it a shambles?
Once again, thanks to Mick Foley, the only person willing to put anyone over.
Classic.
But anyway, let's move on and talk more about one of the stars of the Raw Reunion. What a promo he had. Seth Rollins! This is my impression of Brock Lesnar. He's big like this. Really? Anyway, but he's been shooting on a guy who's left WWE and been, well, mint by all reports. John Moxley. He's been shooting on John Moxley, claiming he's, quote, trying to take food off my table and saying that WWE will, quote, knock AEW dead. I thought we spoke about this when you went a bit rogue on Twitter, Seth.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't necessarily have a problem with the knock AEW dead comment because that's it's probably fed to him by Vince, and you know, you want to snuff your competition out, I guess, if you're in WWE's position, fine. But the Moxley comments again are just weird. He's trying to take food off my table. Like, how gotten to is this guy? How thin-skinned is Seth Rollins? This is supposed to be a figurehead. And yet, if you compare the way that he's talked about this situation, he comes across like a bratty little child. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, calm, professional, classy when he addresses the John Moxley situation. Which of those guys would you want to be the face of your company? Not a hard decision for me.
Brock Lesnar is a Seth Rollins wannabe. He actually said that last night.
Seth Rollins. He's a talented performer, but
he's
he's making
brilliant.
it extremely easy to dunk on him in 2019, isn't he?
Also, that image of all of DX having a big hug and him being like, oh, guess I'll just stand over it then.
I've been told to laugh less because apparently my laugh is fake. But
I definitely wasn't fake laughing at that one.
I can't help it.
Also laughed a lot of Michael Hamlet saying, I'm going to get up early and watch Raw. Bad idea.
Yeah, that was a bit...
Do what I do. Wake up at normal time, watch it on double speed.
2 hours sleep he got. 2 hours sleep. I watched it in the gym. I cut through all the crap. It was great.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Shall we talk about writers in WWE? Why not?
Poor guys.
Basically, there's been a lot of backstage upheaval with the writers, the producers, road agents, and all kinds of stuff in 2019, sorry. People have come and gone. Guys like Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko gone. Eric Bischoff, and of course Paul Heyman back in. Now there's been another big shake-up last week, apparently, according to Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet, claims that Raw's lead writer, Steve Oppenheim, no relation to Atomic Bomb Man, Robert Oppenheimer, and SmackDown's co-lead, Steve Guerreri?
Yeah, that's
Guerreri? They were binned last week.
Wow.
They're gone. They were fired. It was a potential response to low ratings and the cratering audience, but it had nothing to do with Heyman and Bischoff, apparently. So Vince McMahon taking big steps to kind of revive the creative process. And he really needs to do them because the show kind of sucks.
I'm kind of split on this one because I agree that WWE need to make sweeping changes to their programming. The problem being is it's all well and good firing the head writers, but the guy above them who pulls the red pen out at like 5 p.m. on a Monday is the real issue here, and he's never going to go, I'm fired!
Yeah, the real reason WWE's creative process will never truly change, of course.
Yes.
Vince McMahon. You're absolutely right. The whole thing's a mess, and it starts at the top.
And speaking of Vince McMahon, Variety, Gavin Bridge in particular of Variety, has sort of called out Vince McMahon and WWE ahead of their Q2 ratings, of course. At the end of Q2, their ratings are going to be coming out, and they usually have their excuses lined up.
I think it's tomorrow or Thursday.
Is it?
Financial reports coming through. It's going to be interesting.
So, of course, back in April, Vince McMahon blamed, quote, superstar absences for the reason that their numbers have plummeted, and said that to investors that don't worry, those numbers are going to rebound once those superstars come back. Well, guess what? They have been back. According to the study of Gavin Bridge, 7 of the stars listed amongst the Q1 absentees have made at least 12 appearances in Q2. So, if those figures are still down, Vince is going to have to look into his big book of excuses again.
Yeah, they probably will do that. I mean, those conference calls that come out with the Q2 or the Q1, whatever reports, are always full of conjecture and nonsense and silly excuses. They're actually kind of fun to listen to because they're just so packed with bollocks that you get a good few laughs out of them. The whole Variety article is actually well worth a read. It really skewers WWE. Much like the John Oliver thing a few months ago, it really brings a number of their problems to light, and they're all based in fact as well, so...
Good work, Gavin Bridge.
Well done, Big Gav. Sexy Gav, I've always said that.
You do all the hard work and we just,
Yeah, that's how this whole thing works. Content makes the world go round. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about the recent reports suggesting that when AEW announced their TV, WWE might consider moving NXT onto Wednesday night on Fox Sport 1 to try and combat that. Well, there's a new report. There's more Dave just kind of riffing, suggesting that WWE may well decide to bring main roster stars to NXT to attract more viewers to counter AEW and win that little ratings battle, which will be difficult purely because Fox Sport 1 is available in a lot less homes than TNT is. But it would hark back to the days when guys like John Cena, Big Show, Chris Jericho would appear on NXT when they were trying to get it established in Full Sail years and years ago. Not necessarily anything new there, but I guess people will look at this and go, well, they want to bring in names solely to shoot on AEW. Either way, it's kind of smart.
Yeah, I get it. I get putting your TV directly up against AEW when they launch. NXT is obviously one of the best brands and arguably one of the most similar to AEW when it comes to fantastic, skillful in-ring talent. Yes, I want to see some main roster stars on NXT. I think it helps put other people over, and I think sometimes you have those main roster people who you go, ooh, could probably do with another few weeks of training or months or years of training, to be perfectly honest. But there's also the bit of me that thinks, oh God, is this the wild card rule coming to NXT, and I'm not going to see all my favourite NXT stars on TV as much?
Pretty much it, isn't it? Less opportunities for exciting young wrestlers, and that was always the great appeal of NXT, watching these unfinished products come through and watching them grow in front of you and become fully formed sports entertainers. You might lose that if you have Cesaro and, I don't know, Kurt Hawkins appearing on TV for some random reason every week. But either way, you know, it's a business move. Maybe it'll pay off.
Bring them in, job them out to the NXT stars and get them over. That's what I'd do.
Bang.
Not job them out, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Speaking of the land of opportunity,
Whoa.
look at that for a transition. We saw Eric Bischoff, of course the guy now behind SmackDown Live, make an appearance on the Raw Reunion last night, and he was there whilst Maria Kanellis once again emasculated Mike Kanellis, and he said basically that...
Cucked.
Yes. That is exactly what happened.
Comment section.
He said that he could try and get them to come over to the blue brand if it doesn't work out for them on Monday Night Raw, which is, you know, showing some interesting signs of what could well be happening in this Monday Night Raw SmackDown Live dynamic with Heyman and Bischoff. And, you know, I think a lot of us said maybe we should have another draft once the Heyman and Bischoff are installed. And I for one, would like to see something like that and see them cherry-picking talent that they legitimately want to push. And we saw the segment ended anyway with Ron Simmons doing his epic damn!
Yeah, one of the better moments of the show. This has led to a lot of speculation that it could lead to some kind of storyline between Bischoff as like this on-air figure trying to bring talent over to SmackDown. Obviously, they'd need to cancel the wildcard rule before that would have any real kind of meaning, but it would seem like a logical move in this weird Mike and Maria storyline, though, to be honest, I'm actually quite entertained by, so guess I suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to your Twitter questions. Who we don't forget you can tweet them to us at WhatCulture WWE. Me the 6, you the 9 tweets us again, saying outside of CM Punk, which former superstar do you think has burned their bridges to the point that they will never be on any reunion show?
Oh, see, the thing is, I don't think there's such a thing as never say never anymore because the Ultimate Warrior came back and Saudi Arabian money exists now as well. So I don't necessarily think that even Punk couldn't be coerced with the right pitch. Like I say, homophobic Ultimate Warrior was back and was welcomed back with open arms as well. So yeah, it's kind of a tough question to answer. Although let's assume that bridges can still be burned. I suggest John Moxley, perhaps. Yeah. Like, they really rolled out the red carpet for him on his way out. They were proper like, oh, John, oh, we're sorry you're leaving, but here's all these nights. Here's a whole show. Here's 700 show reunions. We're being really nice. Come back someday. And he bloody, I almost swore there, he bloody debuts on AEW a couple of weeks later. So that might be one.
Yeah, Moxley might be the only one, not only because of that, but also because of the Jericho podcast and just shooting on everything. I mean... I agree with you. I think you could quite easily see Dean Ambrose appearing on WWE. Yeah. Not soon. Him leaving WWE isn't a work. Vince Russo, you are an idiot.
Can't believe he ruined your fun.
I hate him. Yet again, by the way. Daniel Petrick is tweeting about the Raw Reunion, as everyone was last night, and he said the biggest pop and best promo came from Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course. Shout out to John Cena as well.
John Cena got a great pop, didn't he? It's awesome.
He says, does this man, Steve Austin this is, who looks to be in great shape still, did look good, have one more big match left in him, a short and sweet WrestleMania match? Am I crazy?
I'm not going to call you crazy because that would be insulting, but Steve Austin is one of the last wrestlers I want to see have one last big match for two reasons. Number one, leave the memories alone. Like, don't Goldberg yourself. Don't Shawn Michaels yourself. I don't need that. Number two, man, his injury records, the neck, the knees, everything, the spine. I would be very, very worried. Obviously, you know, if a doctor clears him, it's fine. He's a medical professional. He knows a lot more about medical stuff than idiot bald guy Andy Murray from the internet. But I don't know, man. I think he broke his neck.
Yeah,
like,
I'd love to see it, but I'd be happy with just the occasional stunner on a random show. That's effectively what you want to see from a WrestleMania match anyway. So just have him appear at WrestleMania like he occasionally does and stunner some goober / Vince McMahon. Final question today comes. By the way, did we get a tiniest hint, or am I really reading into this, about a Shawn Michaels AJ Styles match when they were jaw-jacking?
There was a little twang there.
Is there a little bit of something there?
When's the next Saudi show? November?
No, not. Please just put it at WrestleMania and then sort out all the bollocks with Shawn Michaels because he tainted that memory. Shawn Michaels AJ Styles is the match that you want to see, isn't it?
Remember when Kane's wig fell off?
Right, final question today comes from Oliver Byrne, who says, it seems like WWE have no plan for Braun after the Lashley feud. Shocking, isn't it?
Woo!
But if you could design a storyline to get him over with the fans and on the WrestleMania main event, how would you do it?
Focus on the spectacle, don't go 50-50. they don't normalize him. Have him do short, sharp bursts of dominance every week. Have matches like the Bobby Lashley match at Extreme Rules, which was awesome. I love that. Last night he had a quality squash against some little pube. He said this isn't going to last long. He beat him up in something like 30 seconds. It was awesome. Do that for a few weeks. Slot him into a program with someone he can realistically. Drew would be pretty cool because Drew's big and athletic. They could have a little banger.
Ooh, yeah.
Build him up, have him win the Royal Rumble, have him eliminate like 17 people, go mental, and then just have him kill Brock in like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah, but I was going to say have him kill Brock en route to WrestleMania.
That would work.
Because I don't know who I'm putting him up against for a title. Daniel Bryan is my other person I'm putting in. I'm putting Daniel Bryan in the WrestleMania main event, but I'd have Braun going for the other title, whichever one that may be, probably the Universal Championship. I don't know who against. I'd have him destroy Brock Lesnar at like a Survivor Series or something. I wouldn't have him win the Royal Rumble because I've already said next year is Daniel Bryan's year to win the Royal Rumble. It needs to happen. But I'd have him Goldberg the Elimination Chamber, but not have the title online, have that as to be the #1 contendership and have him beat literally everyone in it, and he just steamrolls into WrestleMania against someone who ducks him for the Universal Championship or something. I don't know. But let us know your thoughts on how you'd get Braun back to where he really should be, because he's looked mint. Or just either all that or have him flip a stadium. Sod it.
He's probably capable of it.
Yeah.
Strongest man alive. I've got the finally for today,
Good.
Mr. Wilborn. A little flip of the usual programme. So last night in the closing segment thing, we saw Steve Austin reflect on the time that him and Gerald Briscoe went to South Africa and did something illegal. So that got me thinking, what kind of illegal business could they be getting down to in South Africa? Not the usual kind of illegal, not just, like shooting guns or whatever.
Before we carry on, because this is going to be preserved in time, allegedly. There we go.
Allegedly. So, did a bit of research online about some weird laws that allegedly exist in this country, allegedly. And
shout out to any South African viewers. Apologies in advance.
so please tell us if you're from South Africa, if you're watching this video. If we're speaking bollocks, let us know. But the internet told me this, so, internet's infallible, obviously. So, here's some of the things they could have been doing. Driving a quote-unquote big vehicle during rush hour.
Right.
Bit weird. Refusing to give right of way to a herder and their herd while crossing road. Bunch of cows. Steve
That's
Austin,
definitely,
Gerald
he's
Briscoe
given a bit of that.
Yeah. And finally here, they may have brought a bear to a public beach. Apparently this is a law that exists. It says you can't take a bear into public, despite no bears living in the sub-Saharan African continent for 1.5 million years.
Just imagine them landing in South Africa. Steve Austin opens his suitcase, all the beer. Gerald Briscoe, well, bear. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on what law they broke in South Africa.
It's also illegal to wrestle bears in South Africa.
It's definitely what happened. He stunned a bear.
Bear was the 24/7 champion.
Have some of that.
Yeah.
Oh, let us know what laws you think Stone Cold Steve Austin and Gerald Briscoe broke in South Africa in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And actually, if you send us some of those comments, we'll read some of the best ones out on tomorrow's news. And you can tweet us your Twitter questions at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there. Follow both of us. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for Hunter.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. You can follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
A bear.
Where the hell was Sid last night?